Good morning, everybody. It's Positive Tuesday today, November 19th, 2024. Oh, the election's finally over. For Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald, I'm DrydenWire founder Ben Dryden, and you're watching The Big Show, Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, presented by Professional Exteriors and Interiors. With 20 years of experience, his locally owned and operated business provides quality work both on the inside and on the outside of your home or business. Like Fitzy and I, they believe it's the little things that make a big difference. Give them a call today, see what they can do for you. The number's right there on the screen, 715-520-2271. Fitzy, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. Doing well. I like the look you got going on there this morning.
Yeah, it's something new. Trying, shaking it up.
I like it. And good morning, Dirk.
Shake it up today.
I like it. You know what? Now I think about it. Outside of you doing, well, no, even I don't know if I've ever seen you in a blazer or a jacket.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I think one day I had it on, but some meeting afterwards, and yeah.
Yeah, because usually, even when you do like press or like press conferences, you're in your whites. You're right. So usually a sheriff, when they're all dressed up, it's in uniform, not in suit and tie kind of a thing. Right. I mean, it's a new look. I like it. I like it.
2025, we're gonna try something. It's not yet, but it's getting close.
All right. So it's gonna be an interesting show because this is one of those. Every once in a while, we like to do a show where we don't have anything written down to talk about, which I love those sometimes, and I know you do too. I mean, talk about winging it. Like, we don't even know what we're talking about. But we do know, of course, we always start with our picks. You were off last week, but we still did our picks. So for the last 2 weeks, I went 4 for 8, and you went 5 for 8.
Yeah, here I come.
I know, you're sneaking back up. So here's where we are. I actually went down 5 points, so I'm at 72%. You went up 4. You're at 48%, so you're catching up.
Okay.
So we have a little different. We're going to change it up a little bit now and how we're going to do this. Right. So for the rest of the year, to make sure that neither of us have the same, pick the same winner, we're gonna do a little differently. So the person that's losing in the year rankings, which is so far, you get to pick first, and then the other person has, like me, I would have to pick, obviously, the opposite team. So should we do a 1, like in every other, like you get 1 and 3 and I get 2 and 4, or should we do you get 1 and 4 and I get 2 and 3?
No, every other.
Okay. All right. So I have a new graph. Now, these are the lines as of yesterday. This took me a little longer than I thought it was going to. So go ahead. You get to pick the first one, the one that you're the most confident in winning.
I'm gonna take Seattle.
Really, you're going down to the closest game on the lines already.
I'm taking Seattle.
I was actually
the other games are going to be good.
Yeah, they are.
That one's not.
Seattle's all right, so you have Seattle. I was actually going to pick Seattle too, but unfortunately now I have to pick Arizona.
That's
all
right.
Yeah, I'm going to go San Francisco. So, and that's fine because I'm.
Green Bay.
Yeah. So far, we probably would have almost done this anyway. Okay.
Right.
So, all right, your next one.
I'm sticking you with the Bears. I'll take the Vikings.
Dang it! I'm secretly glad that you did that, because I don't ever want to root against the Bears, but I don't think they're going to win either. So now I have an excuse for picking them, because I have to. All right, so you have the Vikings and Seattle.
Who are you taking on the next?
I'm going to go Eagles.
All right, I'll take the Chargers. I probably would have taken the Eagles too, but I'll take the Chargers.
All right.
My Michigan guy is going to come through for me, and I'm going to go 4 for 4.
Hey. Or you could. You had a 4 for 4 week once. So, all right. Well, let's get to whatever we're going to talk about in 15 seconds after a word from Spooner Health. Yeah, we don't know.
Spooner Health, compassion is at the center of everything we do. It's rooted in who we are and why we're here. It unites us as providers, neighbors, and as a community. Learn more at SpoonerHealth.com.
Speaking of Spooner Health, you have a couple of dates in December. I think you're going to be off. So Mike Schaefer, talk to him. He's going to fill in on December 3rd. So he'll be filling in for you on December 3rd.
So next weekend's our Thanksgiving show. And then I think I'm off the 3rd, and then I'm here the 10th, and then I'm off the 17th.
Yeah. I'm going to see. I'm going to see if I can get Brian Cole on. We haven't had him on in a long time. I love talking to that dude. So maybe
and
that.
Then it's Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, so we might only do one show in December.
Oh yeah, do we do a show on Christmas Eve? morning?
Well, I don't, unless I read by the fire or something.
You're reading
by the fire. Ben and Fitzy by the fire.
No. Oh, fireside chats. Hey, did you see yesterday? Wisconsin boy Sean Duffy was nominated for a cabinet position. Do you see that?
Yeah. For transportation, that's good. Sean's a good guy.
Is he?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know him much. I sent him a text yesterday and said congratulations, and he said thank you. But I don't know him very well. A decent amount, but not a ton. He left right around the time we were starting to do a lot of live shows.
He'll come on our show. I know Sean very well.
Oh, good.
And I heard that. That's great. I think that's great for Wisconsin. That's great for us, and we can have him on the show. We'll have a live from the White House show.
That'd be fun. He has transportation. And remember, it's not transportation secretary. It's transportation administrative assistant. See? Secretary is a derogative term. I'm just trying to keep you off of Huffington Post, Fitzy. So, right?
That's right.
So what do you think? So obviously we didn't do a show last week. I had a board meeting, a daytime board meeting. I think you had something else
going.
How was that? Fine. Just fine. Let's gloss over that. So the election.
I get all my news from you, so that's why.
Yeah, we'll talk later. So the election. So going into this, I mean, election all happened. Most of the things that we thought were going to happen, except for, of course, I don't think either of us really thought Trump was going to win.
Right.
But now, I mean, we're still here. Right. The world hasn't ended. So instead of like individual people, like a Matt Gaetz or a Sean Duffy or whomever that he's kind of selecting, kind of building his cabinet, just in terms of the overall, like it's not really the status quo type people anymore. It seems as though this is like a let's light a fire and burn this down, not burn it down. Yeah. By the way, don't burn anything down. Not advocating for that. But I mean, let's just relook at this and reimagine this. Just the overall tone of the kind of people that he is picking. What are your thoughts?
A little concerned. I just think, and I don't know, maybe you're just following it. I follow it differently because I understand it more. It just seems like I'm just picked a bunch of my buddies to be in my cabinet.
Yeah.
It just seems like that. I assume that happens in everyone. I've just never looked back in history and paid much attention to it. It just seems like, hey, Ben Dryden, you and I have been friends. So what do you want? You want to run the FBI? Sure. Okay. Ben Dryden's the head of the FBI.
All right.
It just seems like they're I hope they're qualified. I haven't looked into it. I'm sure they are. And again, if you look at all of these, I get to make some decisions, but I have 29 county board members that I have to answer to. I just can't change the law tomorrow because I'm the sheriff. He can't change the law because he's the president. He has to go through Congress and the Senate and all this other stuff and cabinets. And some of these people aren't going to get it. They have to get approved to be a part of this. It's not, he can just say, Ben Dryden, you're now the president, right. Whatever.
Yeah, I think you have to get confirmed by the Senate.
Right.
Yeah.
No, he owns it, but I think there's some Republicans and some Democrats that obviously don't like every person. I think the rest of them are pretty fair. The Matt Gaetz one is.
That was head scratcher. A little head scratcher.
Yeah, that one. And that's, as you see now, some of this stuff was it a political move or was it a move to cover something else up? And is it a favor? Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah, I don't know.
That's politics. If you don't think favors get done in politics, yeah, exactly.
Right. Come on. Yeah. I'm really interested. I'm always excited when we have a new president. Just because it's like you with anything new that comes out. Like you're an advertiser's dream come true. If there's a new Mountain Dew, I'll try it. Right? Oh, this YouTube TV there's 4 games I can watch and 4 panels at once. Sure, right. I'm totally down. Right? Yeah, exactly. If there's a new burger at McDonald's, I'll try it. I'm that way when it comes to change. I love change just for change's sake. I just like to see how this is going to end up. So I'm always excited about a new president coming in and seeing what they're going to do. Whether it's a Democrat, Republican, I don't care. But what I'm really fascinated by is this is the first president in 130 years that is walking into a term knowing it's a lame duck term. Not technically a lame duck, but it's he's not running again. I mean, it's his last one. So let me ask you, if you knew that you were, let's say in 2 years from now, you run and you tell Holly that, honey, this is it, right? In 4 years, or in 2 years from now, you run, you win, and that's it. You announce, I'm not going to run again for sheriff. Again, I want to be clear. You're not saying that.
Yeah,
I don't want
I'm
you to be
running.
on, I can see the headlines now in the New York Times. Dolphin boy sheriff announces he's not running for re-election. Sub-headline, some embrace decision. Right. Not saying that.
That's good.
But what would you do anything differently? Or would you start like a list of like, okay, this is like my legacy, because people are going to remember your last 4 years, not your first 4 years. So do you do something differently? Or how would you look at it just from like a mental and emotional standpoint? Is it like you technically just, screw it, I'm not even going to do anything because it's my last, who cares? I'm assuming you wouldn't. But would that change anything for you if you knew I'm just going to have 4 years left?
No, I think if you look at it from that way, if this is my legacy and what do I want people to remember me for? Because you're exactly right. They're not going to remember me for. I guess I've done some pretty big things, so I think you get remembered for that a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're not going to remember that I added 2 patrolmen, to the night shift, and they're not going to remember any of that. But they're going to remember what I did my last couple of years. And so, do you take as much grief as you probably would have when you had it? You probably take a little less grief. You probably worry a little bit less. But if you're doing it for the right reasons, which is what I believe in and what you believe in, then I don't think you change much of what you do. It's just you probably take a little less grief and worry a little bit less.
Worry a little bit less. I think that would be a good one. Yeah, if I knew I had like 1 month, we announced, or we're shutting down at the end of the year. December 31st is our last day of publication. Yeah, I don't think I would like go scorched earth and all of a sudden reveal all these secrets that I know that I don't report on. Like I don't, because that's just not who I am. That's not my character. But yeah, I wonder if I would do something different.
I think you would. You wouldn't wake up on Christmas Eve and worry about, I got to get that press release up there.
Yeah.
Because you'd be like, well, I can get that press release up the 26th instead of the 25th. It's not a big deal. But if you know that you need to keep your subscribers in this, but yeah, you shouldn't be saying, I know a bunch of secrets, because you and I both believe in that. Let's talk about all of these secrets now instead of doing them, instead of keeping them quiet. So. Yeah. So no, I don't think so. But I hope it goes well. I hope it goes well for the American people. I'm glad no one rioted and burned anything down after the election. And I'm curious on why less people voted this time than last time. There's a lot of curiosity there. It'll be interesting. I hope it goes well. And I hope it's fair for everyone. That's all we can hope.
Well, we should ask Representative Gabe Magnifici, who I don't know, I think we'll probably always call her that. But she should have asked her that question. And if Gabe, if you're still watching, well, I don't know if they're really in session right now. I don't know if they're being called back for anything before the new term starts. But yeah, Gabe's in a lame duck thing right now where it's, she decided not to run again. Duke Tucker had won that race that you and I both thought. Well, I think everybody kind of thought that. So congratulations to Duke, but I wonder what Gay's going to do now. And she should totally just say whatever you want, Gay. Like, what are they going to do? Just say whatever you want.
We'll have you on the show next week. Let's have her on the show next week.
Yeah, let's go score.
Let's talk. No, I'm taking next week off. It's Thanksgiving. I don't have to work anymore.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. All right. So what's going on down in Barron County?
Well, it is. Well, not much. I mean, we had one press release on the drowning.
A 17-year-old.
So,
Gay says, I think some people didn't vote because they didn't like either choice.
Yep. I think you nailed it on the head. I think that's exactly right. I think, yeah. And we talked about that on the show.
You did. Yeah.
This is the best two.
Uh-oh.
We'll move on. But yeah, we did have one press release. We had a drowning of a 17-year-old boy. They were out in kayaks in a canoe and had rented a Airbnb or something like that. And one of them fell in, the other one tried to help, and then one got to shore and one didn't. So pretty tragic event. Hats off again to our response. Our guys were working, our rec team was working. Both of them happened to be working that day. They got the boat out right away. They were in the water instantly with our side sonar. looking. We had the dive team called right away. Their response was tremendous. Tech dive team, and did all they could. And obviously he passed away, but hats off to our fire and sheriff's department team again, doing some very tragic things. And that's tough to pull a 17-year-old into your boat and bring him to shore and fly him out. And we gave that kid every chance he could. So hats off to them.
Minnesota kid, wasn't it?
Yeah, they were from Minnesota.
Yes.
I don't know exactly the whole story. I wasn't there. I was gone, but my team did an unbelievable job. So
that's we really haven't seen a lot. There was a stretch there for about a month and a half all across our area. Is now that it's getting a little bit chillier out or getting towards this time of year, is this where things kind of people aren't outside doing as many recreational things as usual, therefore we're likely not to see as many?
Well, except for this weekend, and that's the other topic I want to talk about is hunting is this Saturday. Opening hunting.
What? No, hunting's going on now. Like people are hunting now.
No.
Yes, they
deer
are.
Hunting open. Yeah, that's called the deer hunting season. Gun hunting season starts Saturday.
Well, what's happening right now?
Bow season.
Okay, so there is hunting right now.
Yep.
It's just,
But
hey, so
gun
we're
season-
simulcasting on YouTube. We're testing this out. We're doing Facebook and YouTube this morning, and there's Patty Green on YouTube. That's our first
you go.
comment I think we've ever gotten on YouTube. So that's right. Okay, so how many hunting seasons are there?
I don't know the answer to that, but a lot. But this is the 10-day gun hunting season. It starts Saturday morning.
Oh.
So I'll be out working Saturday morning. It's one of the best days I'll work and go
Why?
out Saturday morning, and everybody's out having a good time, and families get together, and people take all next week off, and they hunt every day, and it's a big deal in Wisconsin.
Why is Saturday one of your best days?
It's just opening hunting. Everybody's happy. You see all these kids excited to go hunting. You go from, to be honest, coffee shop to Quick Trip to coffee shop, and people are just happy. They're out. Their families are together. It's just a good time, and I love donuts, and it's just a good time to stop at Quick Trip, and everybody's in a good mood on opening hunting. The weather's going to be perfect, so pretty excited about opening hunting. It's a busy day. There's a lot of cars out. There's really no, but we have hunting tragedies. We don't want any. We want people to be safe. We want people to dress for the weather. But again, the weather looks like it's going to be cooler, but not super cold. And hopefully there's no wind, and people shoot a lot of deer, and they fill their freezers. And it's a big week. And then it's Thanksgiving next week.
Good morning, Shani Anderson. What is their photo of? Is it like a half a heart? When you do that. I don't know what that is. So Saturday morning hunting, what do you do? Are you traffic stuff? You were saying like donuts. I mean, do you like, where do you typically go? Like, what is, I mean, unless you can't tell like other people, right? I don't want people to know what I'm doing, but what do you do?
No, I just drive around.
Okay.
You just drive around. Yeah. We do have some trespassing calls we get, and that's probably the biggest crime that we get. It's not really a crime. And a lot of it is, hey, I've been hunting Uncle Bob's land, and Uncle Bob died, and I forgot that Uncle Bob, third cousin, sold the property to somebody else, and this is where I've hunted my entire life. And so then I forget that property changed hands, and they didn't realize I've hunted it forever. Or the neighbor sold the land and didn't tell you, and now they don't want you hunting on it anymore. So a lot of it is misunderstandings. There isn't a lot of true trespassing violations. Like, I'm really going to sneak on Ben's property and shoot a deer and sneak off. It's not like that. It's most of them are accidents and didn't realize property changed hands or something like that. So we end up with some trespassing calls on over the next, obviously, 10 days of hunting season. We have some trespassing calls.
I never thought about that, not being a hunter.
Right.
But I would assume, like, if I was going to go hunting, I'd need to know where I was hunting. So that kind of makes sense that it's probably not done purposely.
Right.
Because you probably have a plan, and I get it now. And those are usually like resolved like just at the scene, right? It's not a. Yeah. I mean, most of these, I'm assuming it's a very easily understandable. Sure. And
some people go off of county property on a private property, and they say they don't know that they went off property. There's very there's not a line, there's not a line that drives through the middle of a forest that says this is county property and this is private property. But normally people post signs every, so many feet, but you may miss them and you get onto somebody's private property accidentally and they shoo you off. And people are very strict with their property, and they have the right to be. So stay off people's private property, wear your orange. Our DNR are heavily involved in most of the hunting things, but, we do have people that shoot and they go beyond. They get so excited about the deer, but they don't see the garage behind them, and somebody's garage gets hit with bullets. That happens. So know your target, know what's behind your target, all that kind of stuff. We have some, always sometimes somebody's carrying their loaded gun and they crossing a fence line and they accidentally have a discharge. Things like that can happen over the years of deer hunting. So, it's always a good time out there, and I just like it because everybody's in a great mood. Everybody's happy. I don't hunt. I've never hunted, but
I was just going to ask, have you ever hunted before?
No, my dad's always worked opening hunting, and I used to ride with him when I was a little kid. And now, I get to do the same thing and be out there opening hunting and make sure people are safe. And, there's a lot of traffic. There's a lot of fun things. Stop at a little craft fair, see the women walking around at the craft fairs, and, just say hi to people. Everybody's out. It's a great day to be out, and everybody's out doing something.
Yeah, I've never hunted either. And I feel like there's like three reasons, one of three reasons that people hunt: food, fun, or sport.
Right.
I don't need the food that badly to go and kill it myself and then, field dress it and then I don't need
chop it up and do all that.
Yeah, like we're not, well off, but I don't need to go and kill my food. Like we're doing okay. I don't think it's a lot of fun. Again, this is different for everyone. Just for me, it's not really fun just seeing something that's alive and then just killing it. Like unless it's a spider, right? Like I don't love deer. I'm not like a PETA thing or anything. It's just I don't know. I don't want to kill that thing. I hope other people do because I don't want to hit it with a car. So right. I'm glad they do. And the sport, yeah, give the deer a gun. Now it's a sport. But come on, you got a high-powered rifle and it's a stupid deer. How hard is it? It is so crazy.
Yeah,
like, yeah, I didn't get a deer this year. I'm like, how? They're everywhere. You have a gun. Jeepers. Apparently, it's a lot harder than that. I've never done it.
Apparently it is. Apparently. I don't like to be cold, and I don't like to sit in the woods.
No, nothing about that appeals to me. And then, but you can go into a cabin. Like, so you buy a cabin or you rent. Like, why would I want to pay to reduce or lower the quality of my life? Right? The whole thing is stupid. But I'm glad that people do it, and it brings in a ton of money. So, yeah, we need to
good
keep
tradition in it. I love the tradition part of it.
Yeah, fathers and sons stuff. I love that. Yeah.
So, right. But that's really all we have going on down here. It's been a nice week. We hope to have a very safe hunting season. Obviously, we'll talk next week about Thanksgiving, but there's a lot of drinking that goes on OWIs. Even this weekend, everybody goes to hunting cabin and they get their 10-30 packs to take them for the whole week. I mean, sometimes it can get a little out of control. So be smart when you're hunting and alcohol. Those two things don't usually mix very well, but we normally don't have a lot of issues. So it's been pretty safe hunting season the last few years.
I don't remember last year. I think I do remember no major situations last year, if I recall.
I don't think so. I don't recall any.
Yeah. And actually, if I think about it, I don't recall. I can go back and look. I don't recall any significant ones in our whole area.
No, I mean the DNR always investigates some shootings.
Sure. But I'm talking about like people getting shot or deaths. Right.
That's what I mean. There are usually a few in the state, but never. I don't think there's been around here in the area for a while. So, that's the one thing I think the DNR does a very good job of teaching hunter safety. I think there's a lot of volunteers that teach hunter safety. I think it's very ingrained into our youth, the gun safety thing, and I think people really take that seriously. Then they should, but I just think it's an important thing to do.
Well, speaking of the weather, Dirk Miller, our official weatherman at Positive Tuesday Ben and Fitzy show, here is the 5-day forecast. Today, 54 and falling, AM rain. Yeah, it was raining here this morning.
It rained a lot last night.
30 to 40. Oh, wow. Look at 25 to 30 for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Light snow, half-inch possible. Yeah, I saw just a light dusting on Wednesday, maybe a little snow Thursday. The highs, man, 35 to 40 as well. Yeah, it's still not horrible. So Saturday, opening day, as of right now, and granted, he's trying to do, and bless his heart, how do you give a forecast for like 6 counties? Right, because that's what he's looking at is rural northwest Wisconsin, not like Rice Lake, because there's a big difference. Like Balsam Lake over to Balsam Lake in Polk County or Amory to Radisson in Sawyer County. That's a 2-hour drive. I mean, there's a big difference there when it comes to weather patterns. So I understand that's very difficult for him to do. It has to kind of broad stroke some things, but it looks like partly cloudy. Probably won't be snow on the ground, or likely not. I was told a long time ago that a little snow is good for tracking. Right. So then you can
see the blood.
Yeah, but I don't understand. So that means what? Like tracking, when you shoot it, you kill it. What are you tracking? I don't understand.
They don't go down right away. The deer travels after you shoot it.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I mean, it's
not like TV.
Really?
Right. Yeah. So you have to track the deer after you shoot it. Because obviously sometimes you don't shoot it right in the heart, you miss, and you shoot it and it's got to bleed out. And then that's where you see the blood trail.
And it could go that far where you need to track it. Not like, you shoot it and it can just walk around for like 20 feet and then drops over. It could go hundreds of yards.
It might go half a mile.
What?
Yeah.
That's weird. Yeah.
And that's where you see these property lines, because you can shoot it, but it might go onto someone else's property. Then you got to get permission to go on somebody else's property, because it doesn't stop. It's like a drug dealer. It doesn't stop at the border. Like, oh, they're really tough on drugs. We better not go there.
Oh, sure.
There's no border when it comes to that.
So can you? I think you just already answered that. You can't. So if you shoot something and you track it into someone else, technically you can't go and get that. You then need to go to that. Well, you probably don't want to walk down their property, so you have to go all the way back out, get in a vehicle, try to get to the person's house, and hopefully they're home.
Right.
And if not, you just leave a dead deer in their property?
Yeah. I mean, you have to wait.
Weird.
So
get a bigger gun.
And everybody's got a gun that we deal with, so we have to be a little bit more careful from a law enforcement standpoint. Everyone has a gun that we deal with.
Oh, right.
During your hunting week, so it's a little bit different from us from a standpoint. So it's always exciting, but there's really nothing else going on. We got some meetings this week, but there's really the budget passed here. So
good.
Did you pass your budget?
Yeah.
So yeah, budget's passed, and now we're all set for the 2025.
Oh, fantastic! All right. Mm-hmm. Well, if we don't have anything else to talk about, we can wrap it up a little early, I suppose. Obviously, we were off last week, so we didn't really want to schedule anything to talk about this week. So next week we'll probably have more of a show flow. Hopefully, no press releases come out. Obviously, we'll be talking about next week hunting, the first few days of hunting, and then the upcoming for Thanksgiving.
The biggest drinking night of the year is next Wednesday.
Oh, you said that last year, and that shocked me.
Yeah,
that's right.
Blackout Wednesday.
The fact that there's a name for it.
It means it's something.
Oh, Wisconsin, you gotta love it. Well, I suppose that's probably everywhere, though. Probably not unique to Wisconsin or exclusive to Wisconsin. And if I recall, what's that?
I think no, it's not exclusive to Wisconsin, but it's just college kids come home.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
People all coming home, and then
so stay tuned for Blackout
they go
out
Wednesday night.
Right.
Really? Do like bars and places? Obviously, they should capitalize on that, right? Well, if they know everyone's going out, do they do like big things? Like
no, I don't think they need to. I think it's a natural one where you don't have to. I think you just if you're open, they'll come.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. All right, so stay home next Wednesday. Don't go driving anywhere, just to be safe. All right, cool. All right, man. Well, hey, we'll catch you next week.
Sounds great.
All right, for Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald, I'm DrydenWire founder Ben Dryden, and you've been watching Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, presented by Professional Exteriors and Interiors. With 20 years of experience, this locally owned and operated business provides quality work both on the inside and on the outside of your home or business. Like Fitzy and I, they believe it's the little things that make a big difference. Give them a call today, see what they can do for you. The number's right there on the screen, 715-520-2600. 2271. We're taking a 6-day, 23-hour, and 30-minute break. So until next week, thank you for watching, and as always, have a blessed day.